Lovely, lovely people, a pleasant afternoon to you. So I'm seeing something here in the Jamaica Observer. It says policing without fear. All right, let's read on. Dear editor, it says, in recent days, a narrative has emerged that raises a deeper and more important national issue, not just about one traffic stop in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth, but about how we as a society view policing, political influence, and accountability. Let us be clear from the outset, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is not perfect, but it is evolving. And part of that evolution is a firm and deliberate shift away from political interference in law enforcement. Member of Parliament MP Zulika's Jess's public commentary, while framed as a call out of alleged misconduct, risks reopening a door that Jamaica has been working hard to close. The dangerous perception that political status should influence police action, those days must remain behind us. Are they? Are they really? Let's continue. There was a time in this country when a phone call from an MP or higher authority could make problems disappear. A time when enforcement could be softened, redirected, or quietly dismissed. A time when even leadership appointments within specialized units, including entities like the Crime Management Unit CMU, were influenced outside of proper policing structures. Those days are gone and they must never return. Have they? Are they gone? This is not true. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, writer. Not true. But let's continue. Today, the expectation is simple. Policing must be done without fear or favor. What transpired in Santa Cruz, when stripped of emotion and examined through facts, reflects law enforcement responding to observed breaches, whether it involved documentation issues, seatbelt compliance, or the use of a mobile phone while driving. These are matters squarely within the remit of the police. If there are concerns about tone, professionalism, or conduct, those are valid matters for review. No officer should operate outside the standards of respect and professionalism expected by the JCF. So, if that is the case, how is it then that the young police officer beat up on the elderly man just recently? Explain that phenomenon to me. Explain that, please. Anyway, let's read on. Because sometimes I feel people just want to write for writing's sake. But addressing those concerns must be done responsibly, not through public narratives that seem to suggest bias. It's not a matter of suggest, it is. It's what people have experienced. Public narratives, that seem to suggest bias, political targeting, or systemic misconduct. It is. The problem is structural. It is systemic. In the JCF, it is. And this is no diatribe against them. This is no, vitriol against them. They're very good police officers there, but there are also those who have gone rogue. And it's a problem, and the rogue is not the exception to the rule. They may not be the majority, but the numbers are not good. Or systemic misconduct without full and balanced evidence. We must also be careful not to assign motive based on perceived political affiliations of officers or their relatives. That line of reasoning is not only speculative, it is corrosive. It undermines trust in the very institutions we depend on for fairness and justice, please. Importantly, it is widely known within the policing space that the officer referenced is someone with a strong, uncompromising approach to enforcement, having transitioned from municipal policing into the JCF. That style may be firm, even uncomfortable at times, but firmness alone is not evidence of political bias. As leaders, MPs carry a higher responsibility. not just to advocate, but to model accountability and reinforce public confidence in national institutions. This moment calls for reflection, not escalation, because the truth is, Jamaica cannot afford to return to an era when policing is perceived to be influenced by politics. Let me see if it's a male. A male wrote this, sir. Cut the nonsense. Does you know it is? We must protect the progress that has been made. We must support the many hardworking professional policemen and women across the island, including those serving in Santa Cruz, my hometown, who put their lives on the line daily to maintain order and uphold the law. And we must be honest enough to say that accountability does not begin with the police alone. It begins with all of us, especially those in leadership. MP Jess, this is not about silencing concerns. It is about ensuring that in raising them, we do not inadvertently weaken the very institutions we are duty-bound to strengthen. Because at the end of the day, the standard must remain. No one is above the law. Well, finally, you've written something that I can agree with wholeheartedly 100%. No one, no human being is above the law, including the police officers. I'm glad that that line, that is the culmination of everything for me, and that's a high point for me. No one is above the law, and no office should ever be used directly or indirectly to suggest otherwise. All right, it's a very fairy tale kind of article for me, to be honest with you, because unless he's living in a bubble with some of the things that were said, I won't highlight it, but it is, as I said, a sort of a fairy tale article. Anyway, I won't elaborate on it too much or do a discourse on it. It is what it is, but it isn't so with a lot of what he has written. But I will agree with that one little line. No one is above the law. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lines, and please, you can follow me on Instagram. Have a good one.